What's good, YouTube? Andre here with the DM Network. Y'all, if you're new to the channel, please lend me your subscriptions. We're trying to reach our goal of 10,000 subscribers, and that is not going to be possible without you. Also, don't forget to turn on notifications, y'all, because we upload 7 days a week. I'm going to be covering this game extensively. Man, just subscribe. It's going to be great. Now, on with the video. So today, I want to talk about Goku and Piccolo's little scuffle that we see in the trailer. And I got to thinking today that we know they did not fight in Dragon Ball Z. However, we know that what's going on right here on the screen is Goku doing mental training, because he's sitting there with his eyes closed and Gohan walks up. But then on the next scene right here, you see Gohan walking up, Goku's sitting there. You could tell he's meditating. That's clear. See, his eyes are closed. Gohan walks up, but then the next scene, Gohan is not present, and then you see Goku sort of go to a different state where he's looking at Piccolo, and it's very interesting to see. You see the silhouette of Piccolo there, and next, they go into him and Piccolo fighting each other, which like I said, we know that did not happen in Dragon Ball Z, but we do know mental training is a part of the game, or a part of Dragon Ball. Let me say, not the game. We don't know that yet. Now, what's interesting to me is, some people are saying, how is this being incorporated into the game? Is Goku flashing back to his battle with Piccolo? Because, people say, well, Piccolo didn't have his cape then, and things like that, and just a lot of different things. Which when Goku and Piccolo fought, from my understanding, Piccolo didn't have his cape and his weighted clothing, because Goku figured out that whenever they fought against Raditz, that both of them wore weighted training clothes. And so also, there are just some differences there. So, could it be Goku? Well, okay, so fact, we know he's doing mental training. Either that, or he's meditating and Piccolo walks up out of the shadows, like you've seen the silhouette, and asks Goku to battle. The idea that's most popular to me, and that makes the most sense, is that is potentially a tutorial for the fighting system in the game. And the reason I want to talk about that is because if that is true, if this is like the very beginning of the game, obviously we know this is at the beginning because Gohan is young. And if that is true, that this is sort of an introduction to the game, a tutorial to the fighting system, then it makes sense to assume that we will have a more extensive combat system than what we think. It could also mean that if it is open world, if there is combat in the open world, that it'll be a little bit more complex. However, I believe that, until I find out it's open world, let's assume that it's not open world, and that you actually have more like a free roam kind of thing. And that when you get into a battle, it goes to a battle screen, like you see Goku and Piccolo facing each other there. Or like the battle scenes in Naruto, it goes to a screen where you do battle. If that is the case, then it could show to have a pretty extensive combat system. Kind of like the perfect match between adventure, free roam, and fighting, like Budokai, Rage and Blast kind of thing. That's what's on my mind. If Goku and Piccolo's fight is a tutorial, do you really need a tutorial like that to show you fighting mechanics that are simple? No, not at all. I think that if that is a tutorial, then it is showing us that there's going to be a pretty awesome combat system in this game, full of cutscenes with super attack, cutscenes for ultimate attacks, some quick time events, some beam clashes and stuff like that. That's my ideal. That's what I would like to see anyway. I would like to see, I wouldn't mind an open world where, some guys may pop up and, you just fighting them in open world, like in One Piece, World Seeker. If you go look at that, you'll see how that open world combat operates, or like Assassin's Creed, or like any open world combat game. However, I do like the idea of a cutscene or a transition rather. Whenever you come into battle, a transition to an actual fighting screen where the battle can take place, where you can have completely destructible environments, where you can have the cutscene, supers, and ultimate attacks and things like that. The reason why is because to me that makes more sense, because if there's destruction in the open world, let's say you're fighting beside Capsule Corp. Okay, what happens if a blast hits Capsule Corp? Is it going to destroy it? You know, if you destroy the whole grassland where Goku grew up, where he's sitting at right there, you know, how does that affect it in the open world? See, that's why I don't believe that combat will take place in the quote unquote open world. And that's why, I kind of feel like it's going to be more free roam, where you're able to interact with NPCs, but any kind of engagement that's going to require you to fight, I believe that it's going to go to sort of a transition into a fighting screen where the fight is going to take place. Now, I could be wrong. Do I think that I'm wrong? I don't think that I'm wrong, but I could be wrong. And if I'm wrong, that's fine. Like I said, after seeing One Piece World Seeker, I would be okay with the open world fighting system. I'm just real big, y'all, on theatrics and cinematics in my fights. Like, I love having a fight where I'm in complete control of what I do in the fight, but also if I pull off a super attack, that's why I like Raging Blast so much. When you do a super attack and it connects, not gets blocked, there's a cutscene for it. Like, it goes into a theatrical animation of you performing that attack, and that is so cool to me. Also, the same thing with the ultimate attacks. Whereas you could have an open world style fight where it would be more like Xenoverse 2, where you perform a super attack and there's a slight cutscene and they perform their attack or their ultimate attack. It's not very cinematic. It's not very theatrical. It's just kind of get it over with. It's done kind of thing. I don't like that, because when I see super attacks and ultimate attacks performed in the anime, it's theatrical. It's over the top. It's cinematic. It's awesome, and I want that same experience. So that's what I believe. What I want to know what y'all think. Do you think that the thing with Goku and Piccolo here, maybe it's just a cutscene? Maybe it's just a part of the story kicking off where Goku is just doing mental training before Gohan walks up and talks to him, and he begins talking with Gohan and they begin the game, Or do you think that it's kind of a introduction into the fighting system tutorial? What do y'all think? Let me know. I want to discuss this because it's there for a reason, and we know that it's not part of the anime. We know that Goku wasn't mental training with Piccolo in his mind in the anime. I don't know about the manga if they did that or not. And I do know that Goku did fight with Piccolo, but that was in end of Dragon Ball, right before Dragon Ball Z. Now, don't get so caught up with the attire. Well, Piccolo didn't have a cape. Piccolo didn't have the helmet on when they fought, because somebody did say that yesterday, and while I agree with you, look at that picture there. Goku doesn't even have his insignia on from Master Roshi that he had